The challenge with carnivore burgers has never been the fillings. It's creating a bun that actually holds everything together. And today, we're doing both. Come into the kitchen with me and let's make this together. For the buns, we'll be using 3 large pastured eggs, 2 tablespoons of melted butter or beef tallow, 1 1/4 cups of skim milk powder for a lighter bread-like texture, or there's the option to use whole milk powder for a richer bun. For this recipe, we're going to go ahead and use the skim milk or non-fat milk powder, 1/4 cup of egg white powder or egg white protein powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of unrefined sea salt, and 1/4 cup of sour cream. For the burger patties and toppings, we'll use 1 to 2 pounds of ground beef, a tablespoon of beef tallow, 4 large eggs, 8 strips of bacon, and 4 slices of Havarti cheese. For the bacon spread, we'll use 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 4 tablespoons of cream cheese, a pound of bacon finely chopped, a teaspoon of gelatin powder with 2 tablespoons of warm water, and 2 tablespoons of heavy cream. We'll start by preheating the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, then combining all of the wet ingredients into the mixing bowl until smooth and well incorporated. The sour cream adds moisture and helps create a softer, more tender bun. Its natural acidity reacts with the baking soda, providing lift and helping the buns develop into a lighter texture during baking. Be sure to visit carnivorecollections.com for the full recipe card and nutritional breakdown. I'll leave a direct link in the description below. Next, we'll gradually add the dry ingredients, mixing thoroughly after each addition to ensure that everything is evenly incorporated. This helps prevent lumps and creates a smoother, more consistent dough. Taking a little extra time here also helps the milk powder absorb the moisture more evenly, resulting in a better final texture. For leavening, my go-to is baking soda, which is sodium bicarbonate, a naturally occurring mineral compound. I tend to avoid baking powder because it often contains additional ingredients like cream of tartar and anti-caking agents such as cornstarch. My preference is to avoid grains and grain derivative ingredients as much as possible, so baking powder is something I personally choose not to use. To bake the buns, I'll be using a stainless steel burger tray to help create a uniform shape. If you don't have one, you can simply place the dough portions on parchment paper and they should still hold their shape quite well. For added stability and even heat distribution, I'll place the bun tray on top of a ceramic-coated baking sheet. We'll be using a little bacon grease to lightly grease the wells. This helps prevent sticking and adds a subtle flavor to the buns. And I'll apply this with a natural boar bristle brush. For this recipe, I'm making 4 larger buns, but the dough can easily be divided into 6 medium-sized buns if you prefer. The larger buns work well, especially for a hearty burger with multiple layers and toppings. We'll lightly wet our hands before shaping the buns, as this helps prevent the dough from sticking and makes the dough easier to work with. I'm also wearing blue nitrile gloves, which further reduces the stickiness and helps create a smooth finish on the buns. The dough should be soft and pliable, making it easy to shape with gentle pressure. Once formed, we'll place the buns into the prepared wells and smooth the tops as needed. And we'll bake these for 15 to 18 minutes until puffed, lightly golden, and firm on the outside. While the buns are baking, we'll move on to making the bacon spread. Add the chopped bacon to a hot pan and cook, stirring occasionally to ensure it browns evenly. As the bacon cooks, it will release its fat and develop a deep, savory flavor. And here we have the bacon strips, cooked until crisp in the air fryer. This method produces consistent results and leaves very little mess behind. We'll set that aside for now and add them to the burgers during assembly. We'll now remove about half of the cooked bacon from the pan, and this will form the base of our bacon spread. Finely chopping it helps create a spreadable texture and ensures you get bacon flavor in every bite. We'll then remove a portion of the rendered fat from the pan, leaving about 2 tablespoons, which adds flavor and helps bring the spread together. The remaining bacon will continue to provide texture and a little contrast to the smoother mixture. At this point, we'll add the butter, heavy cream, and cream cheese to the pan. Stir everything together over low heat until the mixture is smooth and fully combined. These ingredients create a creamy base that balances the texture of the bacon and helps transform it into a spread. We'll sprinkle the gelatin over the warm water and allow it to bloom for a few minutes. While the gelatin is hydrating, we'll finely chop the bacon we removed from the pan to create a smoother, more spreadable texture. Taking the time to chop it well helps the spread come together more evenly. For this step, a small food processor works very well and makes quick work of the bacon. A NutriBullet or similar personal blender can also be used to achieve this fine, uniform texture. Return the finely chopped bacon to the pan, then add the bloom gelatin and stir thoroughly to combine. Continue mixing until the gelatin is fully incorporated and the bacon is evenly distributed throughout the mixture. Now we'll portion the beef into 4 patties, shaping them slightly larger than the buns to allow for shrinkage during cooking. Once the patties are cooked through, we'll place a slice of Havarti on top of each one and allow them to melt gently with the residual heat. Havarti melts beautifully and adds a smooth, creamy layer that pairs perfectly with the beef and the bacon. To the same pan, we'll add 1 to 2 tablespoons of beef tallow or butter, which will help prevent sticking and create a beautiful crisp edge on the eggs. Once the fat is hot, we'll carefully crack the eggs into the pan and cook them until your desired doneness. If available, I like using pastured eggs as they are more rich in nutrients such as omega-3s and certain fat-soluble vitamins. They also tend to have a deeper color and more robust flavor, making them a wonderful addition to this recipe. And now it's time to assemble the burgers. Here are the carnivore buns with a soft texture that is reminiscent of a traditional brioche-style bun. They are at their best when enjoyed fresh, but can also be stored in the refrigerator and used over the next 2 to 3 days. A quick warm-up in the toaster oven or air fryer brings them right back to life. One of the things I missed most when I first started eating carnivore was being able to sit down to a really good burger. The beef was easy, the bacon was easy, but finding a bun that actually felt like a bun was a completely different story. Over time, I've tested countless recipes, making small adjustments each time, trying to create something that could hold together, taste great, and stay true to a carnivore lifestyle. That's what really inspired this recipe. It's the kind of burger I would have loved to have had when I first started, and one that I still enjoy making today. And here is the finished burger. You can see all of the layers coming together, from the homemade bun and the bacon spread to the beef, Havarti, bacon, and fried egg. It's a hearty burger that feels complete from top to bottom and is a great example of how creative carnivore cooking can be. If you enjoyed this recipe, be sure to visit carnivorecollections.com for the full recipe, nutrient breakdown, and cooking tips. Thanks so much for spending this time with me in the kitchen today, and I'll see you again soon in another carnivore recipe.